In this video, I want to talk about losing all your plants in a storm. Today is Wednesday, and tomorrow we're going to have a bad snowstorm, but that's not really going to be the biggest problem. The biggest problem is we're supposed to get 70-mile-an-hour winds with the snowstorm, and then on Friday, we've been running around 10 degrees, 20 degrees. Today it kind of went up to 30. On Friday, after the storm, it's going to drop down to like 0. And I live on Cape Cod. The Cape is supposed to get hit the worst. Not for the snowfall amounts, but for the wind. So we're being told we're going to lose power. Now, I've been through this before. The worst time was I lost power for 3 days. And it was 26 degrees outside that year, and inside, I didn't go to a shelter. The roads were too bad to get to the shelter. So my dog, we were in the house for 3 days, and I had had the heat cranked up to about 70 before the storm hit, and over that 3 days, by the third day, the temperature in the house had dropped to about 32. And I was hypothermic, the dog was getting hypothermic. It was bad. So this time, the fact that the winds are probably going to knock out the power, and the fact that it's going to get very, very cold on Friday, is going to give me the same conditions I had with that storm. That first blizzard, we had 4 feet of snow. But this is only going to be maybe a foot, maybe 8 inches, but it's the wind and the cold. Now, in that first blizzard, I had about 35 African violets that, even though I put plastic bags around them when the storm hit, it didn't help. They're so soft tissue type plant that by the second day they were gone. So I lost most of my plants in that storm. Now this time I have about 4 geraniums, I have about 20 kalanchoes, I have some sempervivums, which are little hens and chicks. I've got 1 cotton plant struggling in the winter. I've got my cacti, and wouldn't you know it, I've got a couple of small trees here. This is my Phalaenopsis orchid that has thrown up a spike and has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 buds on it. And I'm going to lose this plant, I think. So the video is going to be about sometimes there isn't anything you can do. You can take small plants like syringes and put them in peanut butter jars or baby food jars, and that will help these survive. Obviously, with my African violets, they were large, and I didn't have jars or buckets big enough. What I'm going to do with the others, if the power goes out on Friday or Thursday, I'm going to take some quilting batting, and I'm going to wrap it around the pots. I'll end up having to throw it away after using it on the cacti, because all the glow kids are going to come off the cacti and get all in the batting. But as far as the other plants, I'm going to take a strip and just wrap it right around the plant, as tall as the plant is, and then put a plastic bag over that. I have young trees, I'm bringing them indoors. And they may go in an unheated bathroom with the door closed. So they're not too warm, but they're not out in the wind. So, you could lose all your plants in a blizzard. And it'll be too bad if that happens. Now, I do have a fish tank set up with the rest of the syringes. The fish tank is, even though there's high moisture and high heat in there most of the time, it's not going to save them. I should almost, I'm going to have to put sandwich bags over each plant and leave them in the fish tank. So I'm taping this video now, which is Wednesday, and hopefully on Friday I'm not doing a second video of all my dead plants. The geraniums are actually blooming, even though they're small. All the calanchos are over on another window, and I even have, I've got big buckets of cacti here on the floor. The cacti will survive. These are Opuntia humifusa, which are native here anyway, and they'd survive if they were outside. But the rest of them won't, and they may not survive inside. So wish me luck, and I'll probably post another video on Friday.